smoke me, but yeah, they're entertaining for pretty decent, but they still got more time to go or have potential. But I never understood that. We want the smoke. What does that mean? But anyway, that's theirs. That's whatever. It's WWE.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I just go along with it. I will say I do like that on SmackDown they had the New Day together like one last time against Cesaro, Nakamura, and Sheamus, which is basically bridging. It's basically Cesaro cheating on his current girlfriend with his previous girlfriend. With Sheamus in the bar, but it was a pretty good match. I mean, the guys. Both the New Day, Cesaro, Nakamura, and Sheamus are good guys in the ring. So that was a good farewell match. And for some reason, Rude and Ziggler got 2 tag title matches in 1 week. First against the New Day, and then against the Profits.
They're it's you can push them, but don't make them lose too much. That's kind of what the position we put at, I think. But I think that they make a great tag team. I also want to see Rude in a singles run too. I mean, I think Rude is he's phenomenal in the ring, and I just feel like there's more you can do with him besides just being in the same position that he's been in for a while. But we talked about that years ago too with even when he used TNA.
Yeah.
But hopefully they'll eventually do something with Rude, at least for I don't know, IC title or US title or something. Even with that, be a world champion maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they plan to do with them. I'm tired of being let down by WWE with both Rude and even Ziggler at that point, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
At this point, like they have so many people that could be in the title picture that they wrote them correctly, including like Xavier Woods, but they just don't.
Yeah.
Then they ended up doing like a contract signing, which whatever. Bayley and Sasha is going to be a big match at Hell in a Cell, and I don't doubt that one bit.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a hell of a match. I mean, inside Hell in a Cell too.
What I don't understand though, is why Strowman got a title match against Reigns. Like in general,
I don't know. I mean, I guess that was to put something there for the season premiere. I didn't get that either because obviously he already has a title match at Hell in a Cell. They can say so. So why are you going to basically put something have a side road, so to speak? Why are you going to do that for? We all know that Reigns going to win anyways, or at least be DQ.
Right. Which he did win, but he won by guillotine. When the hell does Reigns actually win by submission?
I don't know, man. It's a match. Like I said, it made no sense to even have the match, but that match I didn't see. But I mean, when I saw it on paper and they advertised, it was like, why? I never understood. I've seen before in wrestling to where you have a title match before a pay-per-view or a title match before a actual number one contender has it. It's like, why are you going to this avenue for? So I just
the only time I've ever seen it make sense is if they're in a triple threat and someone keeps pushing to get a title match 1-on-1, and basically like, well, if you lose, you're out of the triple threat. That's the only time it ever makes sense.
Yeah, that's pretty much. I just like I said, I just don't get it myself. But it's they didn't ask me.
Right, and WWE is just known for being frustrating.
Well, we to emphasize on that, everybody, we enjoy watching wrestling, we enjoy the product for what it is, but there's those moments, as y'all know, most of y'all can understand, but some people are more avid on protecting that company, and we just tell how it is. But yeah, No.
Now, with Impact, my DVR just for some reason has an issue with Impact. I don't know what it is. It recorded it, but it won't let me watch it in the way that it happened, which is whatever. Bound for Glory looks like it's building to something pretty good. Almost specifically the Rich Swann, Eric Young stuff, and EC3 and Moose. I think they're using those two guys the best that they probably ever could, and it's something that honestly WWE should have did in the beginning. But I can't really speak much about Impact because my DVR doesn't want me to watch it. Apparently,
I thought as we spoke a little bit earlier. Honestly, I give props to every wrestler out there who goes in and does what they do, but the matches, the in-ring, a lot of the matches, I wasn't compelled. The two best matches were Big LG versus what's his name we talked about?
Madman Fulton.
Yeah, him. I thought that was a good match. And Kylie Ray versus
Kimberly.
And that was a pretty good match. The main event was great for what it was. It was good. I was compelled by it. The storylines, what were surrounding that night, most of them were all good, but just a lot of the in-ring wasn't a huge overall fan of. But watched it. Was good for me, so I'll watch it again this coming up week. But they got Bound for Glory. Just some. I'm not saying there's some good matches on there, but it don't look as. They could do some more stuff to that card.
Right.
It could use it.
But let's be honest, the only thing WWE has going for it right now with Hell in a Cell is Uso versus Reigns.
Bailey versus Sasha.
Bailey versus Sasha too. But, it's not like it's a great card. You just have two very good stories going right now.
Well, I get what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing with that. The only thing is that this is Bound for Glory. This is their WrestleMania. And you're going to have to pull out more stops for it. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad card. I'm just saying it needs to be up the ante a little bit more on it. I'm sorry, you just made me think of something else. 2 points, and this is actually regarding Asuka's the Battle Royal match, but also SmackDown. SmackDown, they also ruined Daniel Bryan's return because he ends up cutting a promo, which only thing that came out of it is Seth Rollins restarting their feud with the Mysterio family on SmackDown. That's all it ended up being. But my thing is, tournaments are a good way to build a story. So for Asuka, instead of doing the Battle Royal, I would have done a tournament. I would have rather booked that as a tournament to face Asuka for the women's title, Raw Women's title. Yeah, it wouldn't have been a bad idea. I just do they have a good in-depth roster to do it with the women's division, but I guess they felt like they wanted to get done over with.
Well, then do a gauntlet. These battle royals out of nowhere get very, very tiresome.
You said a good point right there, gauntlet. It's just that's one match that don't get enough credit. I've always been impressed by the gauntlet matches. Seriously.
Last year, Seth Rollins and Kofi Kingston ran the gauntlet, and they were the highest rated things on TV for WWE.
Yeah, gauntlet matches are awesome. I think they're even better than tournaments, honestly. That's my own taste. But I like tournaments too, but I think gauntlets are just even better.
Well, I mentioned tournaments because I did watch Dynamite, and they're booking a tournament when they have Adam Page and Kenny Omega on opposite sides, which tells me it's going to end with Adam Page versus Kenny Omega.
I think so too. Honestly, I really believe it is. Honestly, it'd be kind of stupid not to, because that's money. I mean,
and if not, they should have been on the same side and then be eliminate one each other towards the end of it.
Oh, that's fine.
Ultimately, the tournament has to involve Omega versus Page.
That's what I was getting at. Ultimately, yes. I think I'll do the finals, but if they do the semifinals, that's cool too. But that'd be a great finals match. That's money. Why would you not have that? There's a story behind that. There's a big story right there. People want to hear more of.
And what I'm betting is going to happen in the match, and the story that they're going to tell in the match is Kenny Omega is going to go all in against Paige, and Paige is going to be hesitant the whole time.
What do you mean he's going to go on as far as...
So, like, Kenny Omega is going to go full speed at Adam Page, and Adam Page is just going to be, like, taking his time, like, what am I doing? I don't want to do this kind of thing. Kind of putting his hands on his hips and walking around.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, for all we know, maybe it's going to come down to where Adam Page and Kenny Omega are in this match, and then in the middle of it, Adam Page is going to ask him to call him his tribal chief. Like I brought that full circle?
Yeah, I know. That
Who's your cowboy? Call me your cowboy.
That's what I should do, yeah. Call me your cowboy. That's right. Let's do that. The other thing that they need to capitalize on, okay, over the last number of months, you've had heel tendencies from Kenny Omega. Pretty good ones. And I just feel like that would be like a TNA move almost, from like when they couldn't finish the story. I know WWE does the same thing. But it's just to where you have these heel tendencies now, or you're not going to follow through with them. I mean, I know there's a change of mind sometimes too, but I just feel like if you already had him in heel tendencies. Now, last week's interview, the week before I should say, I didn't get to watch last week, but yeah, it looked like a baby face.
Yeah,
that's one thing about AEW has as a flaw. They don't always have the most best direction for heels and faces. They don't. That's a flaw. I mean,
I think this Adam Page and Omega thing is just a slow build, and they want it to blow off big. And if that's the case, the tournament's the best way to do it.
Oh, that's fine. I don't problem with that.
And I think what will come of it is it's going to continue after the tournament if that happens.
Oh, that's fine. It's just more or less, that's great blow off from the match and everything, and what may be with that feud, but I still want to know the story of who's being heel.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we going? You told a story to start with, and now you're not finished it out. That's why I'm trying to figure out is Omega heel or is he a face? What's going on with Hangman? That's what only a number of people in there. That's one of the flaws that they have a hard time telling in that company. And I love that company, but that's one of the things that they struggle to show is like, okay, who's doing what, and that's the problem I've got.
The hate that I hear thrown at AEW constantly is almost everyone with a title belt is a former WWF guy, which okay. The thing is, when it comes to like Lee, Cody, and Moxley, those guys, or even FTR, those guys are going to draw attention, and they're going to make the people that beat them look really, really good.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially considering that the Cody match went to a time limit draw against Darby Allin. I think Darby Allin's probably going to be the next TNT champion.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if I was Tony Khan, if I was the owner of AEW, I'd do the same thing. I'm like, that's where your attention is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why would it's good business? It's money. So why wouldn't you draw your fan base to? Oh yeah, I know that guy. It's like, oh, you gotta let the other guys have it. They're making good matches. They're in good storylines.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, your company's so young, and you're still trying to spread your word about your company. So why wouldn't you have somebody who has a bigger name right now? That's smart business.
And it's not like a Hulk Hogan thing where he's just like, well, I'm not losing. You can tell the guys don't care about losing as long as it does well.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
and I think Moxley's going to end up dropping the title here soon now that they're opening up a little bit more.
Yeah, I think his reign's going to end shortly.
And I think it's going to be Brody Lee that does it. And if that's the case, as long as the Dark Order does things right, I'm okay with it. What I think the next champions are going to end up being is I think they're probably going to end up being the AEW title is probably going to go to Brody Lee. I think the TNT title is probably going to go to Darby Allin. And I think the tag titles are going to go to the Best Friends.
It's a thought, man. Could be. Little sidetrack here on this thing. I wouldn't laugh necessarily, but it was